The unnamed protagonist suddenly wakes up in the rain and is picked up by his classmate Karen Inakai. Soaked from the rain, Inakai brings the protagonist to her house while he is still confused because his muscles are too cold and numb. He can't speak. He notices that she is sweet and gentle. At school, she doesn't smile at all. Her mother appears, and her sweet mood turns to dark mood. Her mother informs her that the bath is ready. MC has to greet her mother, but because of the cold, he can't speak. Our protagonist doesn't realize that he has turned into a dog. Her mother states that dogs are a big responsibility. MC realizes Inakai found a dog, but he doesn't realize it was him. She takes her to the bathroom and undresses so she can take a bath with him. He gets embarrassed when Inakai gets undressed. He tries to look away from her naked body. She then picks him up and goes to take a bath. Seeing his own reflection in the mirror, the protagonist realizes that he has turned into a dog. She puts MC between her thighs, and when his tail wags in her belly, it makes her moan. She then grabs his tail, making him shatter, and barks. She puts MC down and takes a bath. MC watches her take baths. Later, she goes to the bathtub with MC and she gets excited looking at how cute he is. She then bites his nose. Later, Inakai's mother wants to know if the dog knows any tricks. She replies that he doesn't know, takes him to her room and asks him to sit, and he does. She then asks for a handshake. When MC was human, he never dreamed of touching her hand. But now he has the chance to shake hands with her. It makes her very happy, and she names the protagonist Pachita. The next day, MC tries to open the door and he remembers his room as the last place being human. Inakai appears and asks him if he wants to go outside. He gets excited and barks. He likes the warm feeling of her hand. The tight collar around his neck shattered his last bit of doubt. He is really Inakai's dog. He gets scared as everything looks big from down there. Two girls complimented MC on how cute he is while he was in the crowd, making him anxious as everyone is staring at him. Inakai starts to run out of excitement. He can see her undergarments. When a baseball is coming toward her, MC sees it and pulls his leash to drag her out of the way of a stray ball, but ends up with his head under her skirt between her thighs. He realizes that he is under her skirt and tries to get out, but he is stuck. She feels strange as he rubs her nose in her private part. She picks her up and says that part is not for him. She thanks him for saving her and tries to lick her nose, but she gets interrupted by the kids. Her sweet mood turns into dark mood. She returns the ball to the children who threw it, but scares them away. MC gets the sudden urge to pee, so she takes him near a piler. He is humiliated when she records it with her phone. Later, he uses the fact that she cannot understand him to say, "I love you," which he did not have the courage to say when he was human. Inakai's friend Nekotani comes to study math. Nekotani hugs Inakai. It reveals that Nekotani is MC's next-door neighbor, and he has never spoken with her. He wonders if his family is worried about him. When Inakai's mother calls her away, Pachita plans to appeal to Nekotani so she will take him home, making it easier for him to escape and see his parents. Pachita's plan goes destroyed when he finds out that Nekotani is afraid of dogs. MC wonders how she can be afraid of dogs despite being a tiny little puppy. She jumps up on the bed. A centipede crawls on her without her noticing it because of being too scared of him. He doesn't want the centipede to bite her, so he jumps up on the bed to kill it. But when she runs from him in terror, she trips, scrapes her knee, and knocks herself out. The centipede crawls into her dress, forcing him to crawl in. He notices that she smells like tulip. After the struggle, he finally catches that centipede, but he opens her bra, revealing her melon. When he tries to get out from her dress, she wakes up and throws him away. Nekotani feels sorry for throwing him away. He then calms her by licking her scrape. Inakai returns and is so jealous seeing MC lick it. Nekotani, she deliberately stubs her toe and removes her shock, forcing him to lick it. When he licks her toe, she gets excited and cries out saying his tongue is very rough. She then asks her what she was doing with Pachita while she was gone. Nekotani replies that he got inside her dress. It makes Inakai jealous. She lifts her dress and asks him to get in there, but he runs away from her as she tries to get him in there. She then sits, spreading her legs and asks him to come home. Nekotani is freaked out. MC forcefully crawled in there. Later, Nekotani pets him and thanks her for getting that centipede, which makes Inakai jealous. Nekotani goes home and somewhat gets over her fear by petting him. Pachita is freaked out by Inakai cosplaying as a dog. Then she pulls out a device that supposedly translates dog sounds. Finding this dubious, he says he loves her, and it translates it as saying she is weird. It makes her horrified. However, She gets up and does some unknown movement. She also makes dog sounds. Her mother walks in, embarrassing her. She asks her what she is doing. She replies that she is doing push-ups while wearing dog ears and a tail. Her mother says Inukai gets them off, and her mother leaves. She then asks him if she really is weird. She states it is weird to be into stuff most people wouldn't be into. It reminds him that she said the same thing when he was human. He was a loner and only liked gardening. Ice Queen Inukai appeared, and he was aware that it is unusual for a guy to enjoy gardening, which is usually a girly thing. Inukai said, "Just because you are different doesn't mean you are weird." Ever since she offered him those kind words, he has been crushing on her. And he didn't know what to say back then. Nekotani calls Inukai, who says that she left his pen and invites her to study at their place next week. Later, Inukai comes home exhausted from school. She undresses, revealing her undergarments, and falls into bed out of exhaustion. MC watches her, and she immediately falls asleep. Since she is taking him to Nekotani's house, MC has a plan to escape, and his great plan is he will send Nekotani a package. Right after she opens the door for the delivery guy, he will be free. In order to make this plan work, MC has to use Inukai's phone to order the package. MC gets up in the bed and finds out that her phone is locked with fingerprint. She grabs his tail and hugs him. He starts to lick her finger in order to get free. It makes her feel weird. But he finally managed to order a package. He learns from her search history that she has been looking for part-time jobs to help pay for the stuff he needs. He realizes that she cares so much for him right now, but only because he is a dog. He begins to think that when he turns back into a human, they will be as far apart as before. He then covers her with a blanket. She later takes him to Nekotani's house. This is the first 4-episode recap of My Life as Inukai Sans Dog.